Hello, everyone, and welcome to the BYU Library Family History webinar. We're glad you could join us today. I'm Olivia Tuller, and I'll be your host for this webinar. If you have technical difficulties during the webinar, please use the chat box and I can address your concerns. You are welcome to use the chat box during the webinar for comments, insights, and questions. However, all questions will be addressed at the end of the presentation. Our next webinar is on August 1st with James Tanner, entitled If You Use It, Cite It, Understanding Genealogy Source Citations. If you would like to access a previous webinar, please visit our webinar index on our website or search on our YouTube channel. All of our webinars are recorded and uploaded by the following Monday for your convenience. We also post links to recordings and other updates on our Facebook and Twitter accounts. For today's webinar, we are pleased to hear from Ada Luque Nelson and Maribel Medina on the Family History Guide for Latinos. Before we begin, I'll share a little bit about both Ada and Maribel. Ada Luque Nelson is a native of Panama and has over 30 years experience researching her roots in Panama, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, the Hispanic Caribbean, Spain, France, Italy, and China. She also does Indigenous, Jewish, Basque, and African ethnic research. A graduate of Utah State University, she retired from an engineering career to work full-time in genealogy. Ada has expertise in information architecture and online information systems. She is a past contributor to the Family Search Wiki. For 4 years, she volunteered as a consultant at the Maine Family Search Library. For the past 8 years, she has been a frequent presenter at genealogy conferences, including Family Search and Roots Tech. Ada is a member of the Association of Professional Genealogists, specializing in Latin American research. She is a professional translator and co-administrator of 2 DNA groups. Ada is president and founder of Latino Roots Search, a nonprofit subsidiary of Hispanic Heritage Project, or HHP, and a member of the HHP Executive Board. The mission of Latino Roots Search is to support HHP and to develop finding aids and research tools for fellow Latino researchers. She lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, with her husband, Brent, who assists her. They have a married daughter and 3 precious grandchildren to whom they dedicate this important work. And as for Maribel, Maribel Medina was born and raised in Yucatan, Mexico. She earned her bachelor's degree in business management from Brigham Young University. For the past decade, Maribel has served as a family history consultant, offering one-on-one Zoom consultations to both LDS members and non-members internationally. She also provides professional genealogical services, helping clients uncover their family histories. Maribel resides in San Diego, California, with her loving husband and 3 beautiful daughters. She is dedicated to preserving family legacies and shares her expertise as a teacher and trainer at the San Diego Family Search Center. And we'll now go ahead and turn the time over to Ada and Maribel for their webinar.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, The Family History Guide for Latinos. My name is Ada Luque Nelson, and I'm presenting with me today is my good friend, Maribel Medina. We also want to acknowledge our man behind the scenes, Bob Taylor, co-founder and director of development for the Family History Guide. Bob provided invaluable assistance for our presentation. Any errors that remain are mine. The Family History Guide. Why the Family History Guide? The Family History Guide is a powerful resource for genealogy education. Part of its mission is to make family history journey easier, more efficient, and more enjoyable. It optimizes family history research worldwide. It successfully guides users step by step to reach their goals. Today, we're going to show how the Family History Guide applies specifically to Latinos. There are many other learning resources we're not going to cover today because of time, but we encourage you to continue exploring after this presentation. We want to explore the Family History Guide content for Latinos. We want you to be able to learn how to use this wonderful resource for your research. We want you to discover resources that are available in Spanish and Portuguese, and especially to understand why the Family History Guide is important for you. There are 5 parts to this presentation. I will present parts 1 to 3 and take you on a tour of this resource while Maribel Medina will present parts 4 to 5 on her training experiences with the Family History Guide and testimonials of some of her students. Site navigation for Latinos. The Family History Guide homepage includes 2 different features that allow you to select. One of them allows you to select the language. You can choose a multitude of languages around the world, but specifically Spanish and Portuguese. So you can change the language. The second thing is that you have an intro video here at the bottom. The intro video is not just in English, but it's also in Spanish. And the Spanish version is focused on Latin American resources. The 2 videos are not identical, so you might want to watch both of them if you can. In the homepage as well, there is a magnifying glass. This opens a search bar that is powered by Google Search and allows you to search within the Family History Guide. Then you have the countries menu up here. It gives you access to all countries, including Latin American countries. The countries menu and the search bar are the best way to find country-specific resources. So now let's look at the countries menu. At the top, we have the all countries option. And that, if you click on that, you're going to display a page that has all the links to all the countries in the same page in alphabetical order. But if you choose to go through the menu, this top level of the menu shows Mexico and various regions of Latin America, the Caribbean, Central America, South America. Each area has their own submenu options. So you click each area to expand corresponding submenu. Here we have expanded the Caribbean, and you can see Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico should have been here, but actually it's under United States because it is a territory of the United States. And when you click on the United States for its goals, you will get to this page, and here is the link for Puerto Rico. The Caribbean miscellaneous link allows you to see the rest of the Caribbean countries that are not listed here. And one in specific that would be of importance to Latinos is Curaçao. Curaçao is a Dutch colony, home to many Spanish and Portuguese Jews who fled persecution in Europe, and they came here to seek a better life, and eventually many migrated to the mainland, to Latin American countries. Here is Central America, including Belize, which is the former British Honduras, now an independent country. And finally, South America. All of the South American countries are listed here, except for the 3 Guianas that are found under the South America more. Finally, we have Portugal and Spain, and you can access these by clicking on the Western and Southern Europe menu option. At the bottom of this list is the international link, and that international link takes you to international research tools, and specifically, not specifically for Latinos, but for anyone researching outside of the United States. So the tools, the goal has 3 choices here: doing international research, finding international records, and resolving language and translation challenges. Near the bottom of the countries menu are ethnic resources. And Latino content that you would want to focus on are Basque, Hispanic, and Jewish learning goals. This content is always expanding. And finally, at the very bottom of the menu is the country's KB, or knowledge base. The knowledge base is a type of genealogy encyclopedia that lists all the countries and the resources for genealogical research that are available in each. This content comes from the Family Search Research Wiki. But here it's organized in only one place, so you can expand any of the countries to find the details about the research. Okay, Latino learning methodology. Here is a list of research of learning goals that are available for Latino countries. Learning goals for Latin America vary depending on the country, but most countries have several goals, up to 12, and some have only one. Adding more goals for a country is a work in progress. The goals are numbered based on progressive levels of advancement. So it goes from the more specific, more relevant perhaps, and keeps going in level of complexity. The top menu, here are the learning goals for Brazil. Brazil has 11 learning goals, 1 through 11. And the top menu for each goal shows the list of goals. And this is true of all of the countries. They will show all the learning goals up here. And then under each goal, you will have choices. 1 through 3 choices. It depends on how many, it all depends on the country. And then the choice here, denoted by A, has multiple steps. Each goal has 1 or more choices with step-by-step instructions. For instance, you can read articles, you can watch videos, you can access websites. It's a multitude of learning activities that you can do for every country. And for Brazil, in goal 1, choice A, there's a section called records and databases. And I found this little gem that I wanted to share with you. When you click on this link, it takes you to a page in Family Search where there's a search for the keyword Brazil research. And the results of that was over 33,000. So some of the results are very interesting because, as you can see, they're very good genealogy resources for Brazil. And these came from books that were digitized by Family Search, but also by Google Books or some other repository. So it's worth it to investigate this, and I believe this is available for all countries that are in the Family History Guide. Here's the page. Here's a learning page for Mexican research. It has 12 goals. The goals are ordered from introductory to more advanced. If you click on goal 2, civil registration, it will show you the choices that you have. So this page, we've gone to goal 2, civil registration. For civil registration, the choices are numbered. The first step, so these are steps within each choice. The first step is to read an article in the Family Search Wiki. The second step is to watch a video about Mexican civil registration that's available in Ancestry, in the Ancestry Academy. And the third step is to read an article about marriage records in Legacy Tree. So as you can see, there are a multitude of resources from many diverse places. Peru learning goals. Peru has 11 learning goals. And just like the others, I want you to notice that there's these lightning bolt icons next to a couple of the goals. What these indicate is these are called quick links within the Family History Guide. And they mean that if you scroll to the bottom of the page where that goal is, so this would be goal 3. If you scroll to the bottom of this page, you will see direct links to church, cemetery, and civil registration records in Family Search, or perhaps in another database. Other resources. Tools include Vault, a tracker for logging progress and resources in other languages. Learning paths teach you about different genealogy databases and genealogy tools and resources. Media allows you to explore different social media apps that where the Family History Guide has accounts and what content is available in those accounts that they have. For instance, okay, so looking at the Vault tool, the Vault is immense and it has a lot of topics. And if you see at the very top, these are abbreviations, links actually. So if you click on these links, you will go to different places here in the Vault. But if you click on Mexico, it shows you that for Mexico, which is number 89, it includes many English videos from Family Search that you can access from here. The tracker requires you to register with the Family History Guide because you're going to be adding personal content. It is available for all Latin American regions and for some Latin American countries. The tracker helps you track each choice within a goal. The status here is self-reported. That means it doesn't track automatically where you've been. So you decide, how far you've gone on each of these choices. And you can share this progress with someone else, perhaps an instructor or a family member. Then at the very end of this menu, languages, the language resources include articles and videos in other languages other than English. If you look up here under Spanish, there are 10 different categories, such as family tree, memories, descendancy. If you selected topic 9, it would open to countries and records. And under countries and records, you will find videos in Spanish about different Latin American countries. There are also, if you click on Portuguese, you will see all the videos in Portuguese. All of this content is coming from Family Search. Now we come to the learning path. The learning path for Family Search was the first to be developed and probably one of the most important for Latinos. Family Search owns the best collection of American records and has a significant collection of family trees for Latino users. Both Ancestry and MyHeritage also have direct access to this information because of their partnership with Family Search. And so I highlighted these three as the most significant for Latinos. For the Family Search projects, we have 8 learning paths. Actually, they call these learning projects. And as you can see, they follow the main features of Family Search: the family tree, the memories, descendants, the discover, indexing, etc. So each of these has a tremendous amount. And as far as I know, the Family History Guide is a partnership with Family Search. So they are able to, this training is used by their staff and missionaries in Family Search. So it is a very good training. Learning paths also include knowledge base and other applications. For instance, we have here Goldie May and Tree Find. Goldie May is a type of genealogy research assistant that is digital, is online, and is really good. And another one is the Tree Find, which was developed at BYU, a tool to explore your tree, as you can see by the different learning goals that it has. You can do family searches, you can find out about places, family history, about who you are, where am I from. Learning paths also include the knowledge base, and this knowledge base is similar to the country's knowledge base, but more for more general genealogy research. The Family History Guide media resources. As I mentioned before, the Family History Guide has accounts in all of these media. They have a blog, articles published monthly, starting in 2017. Facebook group with more than 4.5K followers. A YouTube channel that has 266 videos. These are additional videos. The Family History Guide also has accounts on X, Pinterest, and Instagram. And I encourage you to go and look at these because they have amazing content. Finally, the trainer's menu. The trainer's menu includes wonderful resources for people who are training others. And I wanted to call attention for Latinos that there is a thing called class outlines in this menu. What these are is that different topics in the Family History Guide have been, a class outline has been developed for different topics. And these class outlines, some of them are in Spanish. Some of them are on specific countries. And this one that I'm showing you is on our Argentina research. Here is a learning script. So if you were training a class, you can actually go through the script. It's matched, coordinated with the Family History Guide website. So the goals, the choices, it maps one-on-one, and you can be showing and the videos directly from the Family History Guide. You could use this for your own training. You can be self-trained this way as well. Right now, Argentina is the only Latin American country that's covered, but there are plans, because there are placeholders, for Brazil, Chile, Mexico, Spain, and Hispanic learning goals. So now we come to the end of this, and I'm going to turn the time over to Maribel. Maribel Medina is going to share with us her training experiences with the Family History Guide, why and how she got started with family history, how she got involved with the Family History Guide, how she developed a 9-month bilingual international training program and enrolled 300 students, why the Family History Guide is important for you. And now I'm going to turn the time over to Maribel.
Thank you, Ada. Honestly, the Family History Guide is a wonderful resource, so I invite all of you to take the time to visit the website and just look around, see what catches your eye. Now, as you may know, there is a great need for training among family history consultants. And I want to share the story of how I became a trainer so you can better understand just how powerful the Family History Guide is. About 12 years ago, when I had my first daughter, we had just moved to California, and I just had no support network. I had no friends nor family living in the United States. And I just felt very lonely, and I was struggling, trying to learn to navigate my new role as a mom. And I was having a really hard time. So one night, I'm trying to put my baby to sleep, and she's not having it. So I am feeling very tired and very lonely and very sorry for myself. So I decided to just like cook some beans. If I'm gonna be awake for the next couple hours, might as well do something productive, right? So I'm holding my baby and I'm stirring my pot of beans, and I have the most silly thought I could come up with. At that moment, I did not recognize it for what it was. I just thought it was something silly that came into my mind. And I just heard this phrase in Spanish. It says, muchacha de porra, levántese que usted no es reina para que la carguen. And that roughly translates to, hey girl, just get up. You ain't no queen to be carried around. Now, I even laugh at that moment because it was just silly. Like, what does muchacha de porra mean? What is that? I never heard anyone being called that. And then the idea that I'm expecting people to carry me around. It was just ridiculous, right? Like, I'm a grown adult. I don't expect that. Anyway, at that moment, I remember that I laughed. It made no sense. And I just felt a great need to reach out. And I was wondering, where is my people, right? Where is my support network? Where is everyone? So it's the middle of the night. So I open up my computer and I log into Family Search, was pretty brand new at that moment. And I decide to start my family tree. There was nothing in it. It was completely blank. So I start from zero. And in the process, I had to reach out, of course, to my immediate family and then extended family, interview them, and so forth. Now, it took me quite a bit of time to learn how to navigate the platform. I struggled learning how to access resources to conduct my research, and it took me several years to learn how to navigate a family search. I attended many classes, I watched YouTube videos about it, I attended conferences, family history fairs and gatherings, and I learned a lot about doing research in the United States and very little about doing research in Mexico. And then my consultant in my ward, I attended a Hispanic ward. He was very experienced and successful doing research. I think he was from Guatemala or Nicaragua, one of the two. And I don't know, I just felt like his advice didn't fully translate to what I needed to do. I needed someone to pinpoint me exactly where are the records available for Mexico, how do I access them, what do the abbreviations mean, how do I interpret the data that I get from them, and once I find a document, what do I do with it? You know, all these things I just didn't know how to do. So it took me many years to get a hang of how to do proper family history research. Um, but eventually I learned, and I did build a tree. I'm still, of course, working on it. Years later, when that baby was about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, my mother came to visit us, and I was able to show her the tree that I was building. And of course, I took the opportunity to interview her. And she mentioned a particular story that I had heard before. My mom, when she was a teenager, she won a beauty contest, and she was crowned the most beautiful girl in the town where she grew up. So she was the town's queen for a whole 12 months. And I knew that, I remember that she mentioned that before, but I didn't know what happened after, which is what she's telling me at that moment, right? So she tells me the story, how, the contest, how fierce the competition was, and all the things she had to do to win. And then the party and the celebration, the beautiful dress. She mentioned all those details, but she had never told me what happened the day after. So she went on to explain that the very next day, she was very tired from everything that had happened the night before. And being that she was the eldest of 9 children, she was the eldest daughter, she was in charge of a lot of chores. There were many things that she needed to do at home to help her mom with the care of her younger siblings. But she was really, really tired that morning, and she slept on. She slept in. She didn't want to get up. So my grandma came to her bedroom, pulled the covers from her, and said to her, muchacha de porra, levántese, que aquí usted no es reina para que la carguen. The exact same phrase I had heard years before. And I remember when she told me that, I froze for a moment because I remember those words exactly as they were, I heard them. And when she mentioned that my grandma had said that to her, I understood that on those moments where I felt the loneliest, saddest, lost, I was never really alone. I understood that my grandma was with me and had been with me every step of the way. And I remember that all that comfort and love that I felt when my baby was a newborn, it came from my grandma, and that nurtured me. And as I learned about her and her life, I drew strength from the experiences that she had to overcome. So with that experience in mind, I decided that family history is so precious that I need to share with others. I need to find a way to help others connect with their ancestors and discover these stories that give us so much strength and hope and guidance, right? So I started giving consultations via Zoom to everyone and anyone who wanted to do genealogy. Very simple. I just put on my Facebook one day, hey, I got time today. If anyone wants to work on the genealogy, just send me a message. As simple as that. Now, 3 months after I started doing that, I had built a wait list of about 500 people who wanted to do the genealogy with me because they would hear from others that had worked with me just how fun it was, how amazing, how interesting, how easy. So I knew that we needed to, I wasn't going to be able to teach everyone, right? I'm just one person. So I started telling them, why don't you go to the nearest LDS church? Because they have family history centers there, and they're volunteers and they're experts. And more often than not, they will come back and tell me, well, we tried that, but they don't know how to help me, or they didn't know how to help me find my grandma's birth record or my great grandfather's immigration record. Like the volunteers at these centers knew the very basic. And at the beginning, I didn't want to believe that, right? Because I'm thinking, well, these people around these centers, of course, they know what they're doing. Of course, they're experts. But then one day I traveled. I visited several cities in Mexico, and I realized that our volunteers do their best with the knowledge and resources that they have, but they themselves also struggle improving in their experience and expertise. So I was just amazed that we build, as a church, we build these centers, we provide all this equipment, and we decorate them, and you know, but the people that run them, sometimes they themselves don't know what to do with all these tools, and they don't take full advantage of everything that they could do. So I reach out to my friends again via Facebook, and I ask, hey, if anyone here is a consultant, if you want to be trained, let's get together. Let's get together. Let's build a group of family history consultants from all throughout Mexico, and let's just chat and see what we can do, what we can teach each other, and so forth. So we started doing that. And at the beginning, we were a group of we started with 10, and then it grew to about 54 from different cities in Mexico. And the struggle was the same. The struggle was the same. Everybody kept waiting for training from their local leaders. And the training was always based on the doctrine of this work, which is wonderful. But these are people that already have a testimony of it. What they need is the technical skills. Where do you click to attach a record? Something as simple as that, right? No one had showed them where to click to merge two profiles or to search a database that has not been indexed. So around that time, the San Diego Family Search Center was got started, and I was really excited to learn from the experts. So I went for a visit, and I told them, I'm here to learn. And they interviewed me, and they said, actually, you're here to teach because we need someone to train our volunteers. And I asked them, okay, what resources do you have? As far as, is there like a manual, a book, anything that tells you, spell it out, everything that Family Search has to offer. And of course, they showed me the Family Search Wiki, but they also showed me the Family History Guide website. Now, this was about 2 years ago. So I went home, I looked through the website, and everything that I always wanted to know was right there in one spot, spelled out step by step with videos and blogs and articles, examples, even exercises, projects that I could practice on. And I decided, okay, we're going to use this website, and we're going to create a training based on the content from this website. I analyzed how the topics were organized, and I compared that to the needs that a consultant have about they're calling. So we created this website. We created the training, and we invited the consultants in our area. Originally, this was meant for the consultants in my state, but word spread out, and we decided to invite all consultants and leaders in the county. And since some of them live very far from our center, we decided to broadcast via Zoom. And then, of course, word spread out again, and it ended up being a huge success. We ended up training close to 300 people from 8 different countries. We teach this training both English and Spanish. Is 1 session per month for a total of 9 sessions. Now, this is the level 1. I like to call it level 1 because it's builds on, it's progressive. I wanted to continue with level 2 so that those who took level 1 can move on to a little bit more intermediate/advanced research skills. But the amount of feedback and requests to teach level 1 again was overwhelming. So we decided to do it again, to run it again. Now, keep in mind that I'm just one person with a computer at home and a website, the Family History Guide, and the impact that it has had in these 8 different countries is just amazing. The word has spread out again. Those who had taken the class are sharing it with others. And today, I just announced this training a few days ago, and just today I enrolled my participant number 300. So I'm pretty sure we're going to exceed the initial amount of participants that we had last year. We do have a capacity for 500 attendees in English and 500 in Spanish. I have a large group from Ecuador that are coming together to watch the classes and practice after the session. Also a large group from Nigeria that wants to take the classes and be trained. I want to share with you a video where some of the attendees from my previous classes explain what they thought of it and how they're using it. So Olivia, if you can help me share that video, that'll be wonderful.
James Herzig from Lakeside, California, and I've enjoyed the training. It's helped me to grow in my capacity as family history leader in my ward and to teach others how to move on.
Hola, mi nombre es Andrea, soy mexicana y me conecto desde Portugal. Las clases de genealogía me han encantado, ha sido algo que he disfrutado muchísimo. Siento que es muy fácil de hacerlo vía internet, es muy fácil de seguir. Creo que es importante tener como una libreta para tomar apuntes, pero realmente es fácil. Estar lejos de mi país ha hecho que tenga, pues, que extrañe y que quiera saber más sobre mi familia y sobre todo mi familia pasada, y el hecho de tomar estas clases me ayudó a descubrir muchas cosas que nunca me imaginé. Ha hecho que hasta mi familia se una bastante. Mi familia cada año hace una reunión con todos los tíos, los primos, y se realiza una presentación sobre todo lo que se descubrió en esta clase, y toda mi familia quedó encantada y feliz. Descubrimos documentos de familiares que habían fallecido y que otros familiares que aún están con vida necesitaban para sacar visas y todo eso. Entonces, la verdad que personalmente a mí me ha encantado y me ha servido también
My name is Judy Fisher. I'm from Imperial Beach, California. I have enjoyed coming to the Family Search Center and listening to and participating in Maribel's classes because they've taught me things about family search and now ancestry and roots tech and roots magic that I didn't know before, and it's been great because I can then pass that along to people at my church and in my community that don't already know those things.
Ok, yo soy Yael Velasco. Ahorita me conecto desde Villahermosa, Tabasco, pero he tomado el curso cuando estaba en la Ciudad de México y después me mudé a Chihuahua. Entonces, en cualquier parte del país, me conecto desde cualquier parte del país. No tengo llamamiento como consultora familiar, pero sí he ayudado a miembros de mi barrio a comenzar su árbol genealógico y a llevar nombres al templo. Entonces, me ayudó a cómo buscar un documento en los registros que aún no están indexados. A mí fue muy fácil de entender. Me explicaste con ejemplos, entraste conmigo a la página, me fuiste diciendo cómo hacerlo. Y cuando yo tenía dudas, pues estabas como accesible para ayudarme a solventarlas. Sí, porque ayuda a que nos interesemos en trabajar con nuestros antepasados y a veces no, como que sí está el portal, es intuitivo, pero hay algunos detalles o cositas que no sabemos cómo hacer y que nos facilita mucho la búsqueda en los documentos.
My name is Sheila Bowling. I am from the San Diego State, and at the time I started the training, I was a first counselor in Relief Society, which would be over temple and family history. I am adopted, and so my comfort was in ancestry, so I'm just starting to learn about family search so that I can do temple ordinance work for my biological family. Oh, golly, the training has been awesome. I want to continue going. I'm going to need repeats, kind of like scriptures. I need to hear the information again as well so that I remember it. But anything that Maribel would do, I would love to be involved with. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Bueno, mi nombre es Freddy Delgado, soy de la Estaca Turubamba y mi llamamiento es consultor de templo y historia familiar de Estaca. Sí, eso, el taller que usted ha desarrollado, hermanita, me parece excelente, me parece una muy buena ayuda para el pueblo en sí de la iglesia, para poder, la comunidad, digamos, de consultores que puedan tener un apoyo firme, ¿no? El transmitir este conocimiento a la mayoría es lo difícil y lo desafiante. Entonces, estamos en eso, hemos podido muchas veces empezar de cero, ¿no? La tecnología y por ende la historia familiar y Family Search siempre están en constante desarrollo y ese es el constante desafío. Siempre hay botones nuevos, hay aplicaciones nuevas, funcionalidades nuevas, como la tecnología lo va dando, ¿no? Y eso hay que seguir actualizándose. Por ello me parece fundamental que este tipo de iniciativas como las suyas sean difundidas para homologar el conocimiento, para que, o sea, vaya más allá de la buena voluntad, sino tengan herramientas precisas y concisas donde se pueda consultar y acceder a las inquietudes que se tienen, ¿no? Y dentro de las normativas y las pautas que obviamente nuestros líderes en la iglesia nos proponen.
Hello, I'm Elder Dyson, Craig Dyson, a full-time missionary here at the San Diego Family Search Center. My wife and I have been serving here since October, but we've been involved in Maribel's classes since she began. We started while we were still at home watching the webinars. She is incredible, and the value she has brought to the patrons here is immeasurable. Please use her as a template for what you can do around the world, because we have heard so many positive comments from members, non-members, anyone. She is willing to talk to anyone, help anyone, and she has indeed been impactful beyond what she understands yet.
Aparte de todo lo que ha hecho en inglés, también da las mismas clases en español. cada mes y tenemos la oportunidad, todos los consultores no solo de San Diego, sino de todo el mundo, de conectarnos con ella en sus clases, y en realidad es una gran ayuda.
Es importante que la gente entiende que la historia familiar no es solamente por los que hablan inglés, pero otros idiomas también. We have people here who speak Farsi, who speak Thai, who speak Tongan, Tagalog. All of them need these tools, but we have to start somewhere. But Maribel has really set the bar quite high. Anyone who's going to be able to match her is going to have to be exceptional.
Maribel es un recurso único. Hay que aprovechar esta oportunidad.
Así es.
Yes, so I'm just one mom from San Diego, California, that one day got up and said, we need to do something about people receiving their training that they need, right? And I went into the website, the Family History Guide. I saw all the resources they provide, especially on their menu titled Trainers. They have PowerPoints already ready to go with the script and everything. They have videos, they have lesson plans, they have activities. If you are a consultant and they ask you to help with a mutual activity for the youth, there are tons of ideas in there on their faiths. There's also, like Ada showed, there are resources by language and by country. Even if you think you already know how to do research, I encourage you to visit the website, because I'm sure you will find something that you didn't even know was available online. And you'll be surprised how easy it is to use the guide. And I don't think that we mentioned this, but this website is completely free. It's accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to learn how to do family history research. With that, I just want to share my email in case anyone is interested in being part of my training. We will be teaching this same training for family history consultants, the one I was speaking about. We're going to teach it again starting on September 8th is our first English class. The Spanish class will be September 15th. Now, it's one class per month, so there is a whole class schedule with the description of the content of the session, and of course the Zoom information on all of that. If you want it, please email me, contacto@ancestralis.net, and I'll be happy to share these resources with you. We have plenty of room still. And if you're in San Diego area, please come in person to the center. Otherwise, please join us via Zoom. We'll be happy to have you, happy to know you, get to know you. I do make the effort to meet personally with every attendee via Zoom, so that I want to make sure that I am answering your immediate questions, because there is nothing more frustrating than attending a class and learning a lot about everything except what you expected or needed at that moment. So please email me and I'll send you everything you need to know to join us. And yes, you can share this with other people, especially in the Hispanic community. Honestly, when I created this training, I did it thinking of them, because I didn't know that my English speaking community also needed training. I always thought they were like super trained and experienced, but I'm realizing that there's needs in across the board. So everybody's welcome to join us. Just email me and I'll share with you that information. Okay, I think that's all on my part.
Okay, if there's any questions, you can put them in the Q&A or the chat to the audience. I guess a question I have for you, Maribel, is how many classes do you do? So you do one a month, but how many months do you do that for?
9. It's a total of 9 sessions, 1 per month. We skip December because of the holidays. A lot of people are very busy or go out of town. But we teach 1 class every month, so we'll be ending, I don't know, I think it's May or June, something like that. We also record them. We also record them for those who cannot attend. But in the past, we have struggled uploading the videos to YouTube. Some of the sessions are longer, like an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. One time it was 3 hours because the attendees had a lot of things to share. And I was surprised that they lasted that long. I kept thinking any minute now they will just leave. But no, everybody stayed for the whole 3 hours. So some of the sessions are really long. We cannot upload a video that long to YouTube, but we do try. We do try. And
That's
there are
awesome.
separate sessions. There's one for English and then the following week for Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you will join us for our next webinar, which is on August 1st with James Tanner. He'll be giving a presentation on If You Use It, Cite It, Understanding Genealogy Source Citations. A recording of this webinar will be made available next week. You can view that on our YouTube channel or on our website. If you have any comments or questions, you can always email us at fh_webinars@byu.edu or follow Facebook and Twitter. Thank you and have a wonderful week.